Can I do the introduction?
Hello, everybody. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, we're in, so go.
Hello there and welcome to Game 3. We've had a new map and a new lease of life in this series. It is essentially a best of 3. These two teams are now 1-all in this series. In the north, we have HelpingHans and DevM, who are resurgent. Who do we find in the south?
In the south, we have Noggano and Scotch, who played very, very well in the first game and didn't play as well in the second game. Very, very strong Axis games in the first 2 of the series. And here we see at the start of this game, we were talking before this about strategies on crossing in the woods. Well, it looks like Axis are going to opt to go hard left and right.
Wow. So, extremities. They've gone for communism and Naziism together.
Very fitting for this period.
Yes, indeed. It's the 1930s all over again. It's, well, in this case, 1942, to be precise. But indeed, we have gone for half-led, half-led right. And Stern Pioneers have lost the model to Tommies, standing in the middle of a river. That's British accuracy. There's Lee Enfield rifles, Dan. Trained marksmen, professional soldiers, versus their dastardly SS wannabes, the Panzer Elite. Sorry, the OKW Stern Pioneers.
They really have nothing to fear at that range. Interestingly, Noggano didn't cap the strategic point there. I think he's relying on Scotch doing that, but Scotch actually seems to be missing that and going for the center VP maybe. So all of this resource push on the left-hand side instantly useless by that map capping order. So it's now really down to Scotch to get control of the right-hand side, take the fuel there, make things a little bit more even at this stage.
You're only as good as your tactics, and in this case, Noggano's tactic of flinging his Stern Pioneers at a wall and seeing what sticks didn't work. He was cut off and out-muscled by the dual aggression of HelpingHans and DevM. Also, there's a Foch Grenadier in the house here, and look, Hans and DevM just being very cool about it, just firing them like fish in a barrel at the moment, and they're getting so many hits off Noggano. I mean, look at Noggano's KD. He's 3 for 7 right now, and the allies are laughing at him.
Hans certainly is on his 6 for 0 at this point. The Universal Carrier, they're going to chase down these Volks Grenadiers. He's got the Tommies coming in as well. Might have taken some shots as they passed through negative cover there, but didn't quite get there in time.
Scotch, the pacifist, he's neither killed anybody. Well, first kill of the game for Scotch. He's not lost a model yet. He's got a 100% record.
There it goes.
The UC, cold and merciless, the weapon of war, one of the most built armoured fighting vehicles of all time.
Is that so?
Yes, the only mechanized army, fully mechanized army in World War II, because everybody had a vehicle to travel in. No walking for the British.
That really plays into how lazy we are. We're going too much into that now, but as a nation, we're very, very lazy. That is very fitting. Grenadier there, last minute retreat, 1 model. Fortunately, he manages to avoid a lot of negative cover. DevM tries to push up, but now he's going to come in contact with the 4-man Grenadier squad. And Allies actually, after what I thought was a very, very good start to that game, actually, Axis have managed to come back very, very strong here. Noggano's going to be putting pressure on for that fuel point that he easily gave away at the start of the game earlier. Scotch on the right-hand side, very, very far up, capping strategic points in enemy territory. But this flank from Noggano here.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We do not have a truck down yet, so there's no Faust, toothless Foch Grenadiers pushing away the UC with nothing but Car 98 rifles. We've got to talk about DevM as Soviets on this map, of course. I mean, Dan and I talked about this forecast, but for YouTube purposes, of course, DevM first went Soviets in a tournament situation as of 1st of July 2017 on this very map. So I'm a bit worried he's going to have post-traumatic stress disorder, because although it was better than his USF, it certainly didn't go well in general against Loveness. So interestingly, he's back in a tournament and he's back as Soviets on crossing in the woods.
I quite like them. I mean, they are a good faction on this map. I'll wonder what he's really doing though, because it looks like he isn't having much luck at the moment with pushing the field. He's gone tier 2. Maybe he's going to be going for support weapons here. Not really sure what the late game is just by looking. But something that's been very, very effective recently, which he may go for, is that kind of tier 3 from Soviets. T-70 with the Su-76s and guards. It seems to be doing fantastic. And of course that's something that can develop as the game goes on. But what a push from Axis you know, already
great.
pushing allies back into their base.
Conscripts come to answer. However, there is the MG42 of Scotch in position. Not had to take the cut-off, of course, because he has all the resource points. Meanwhile, Focus Grenadiers capping that western fuel point, so the Axis are starting to have a stranglehold. Although it was a spirited piece of resistance from the Allies in the early game, it's not looking so strong right now.
No, we still have no commander picks either, so no one's thinking anything available from those commanders is going to help at this stage. I'm interested to see DevM has gone with the Maxim, no mortar, but...
Yeah, he's pretty much doing the tried and tested 1v1 build for Soviets right now. 4 cons into Maxim, into tier 3, it would seem. You know, and if they're on the super back foot, you can always get a Zis if that's not working, but seems he just wants to keep with the tried and tested 1v1 build. And Von's just, I mean, Von's one of the best strategic minds in the game, and him in chat has just gone 4 cons and 2v2. OP. Twitch chat emoticon of derision. That's seeing somebody use a 1v1 strat in a 2v2 game.
Scout car out there making a nice entry against the Universal carrier. Got quite a lot of health off of that, forcing it away. Not going to be able to stay in any engagements on that health. And Hans, with a little bit of help from the Maxim there, is locking down the left-hand side to get access to a bit more resources. The munitions back on the field. But they need to work together here. One thing that the DevM has got is the fact these conscripts are just a meat shield, and a good meat shield as well for the sniper that Hans has just brought in.
Oh, I like that. Maybe that's what they're going for then. Kind of makes sense now. Also, by the way, great Maxim suppression. It was able to suppress 3 squads at once. Focus Grenadiers, however, with the incendiary grenade getting pushed away by the Welshman, for now at least. Oh, a nice pop, by the way, of STGs on Focus Grenadiers at the same time there in battle. Always love to see that. It's always nice to have the timings and
reminds me of glorious Co-1 bar upgrades.
It does, Dan. It does indeed. I'm sure many Co-1 elitists will talk about global upgrades and say, "Oh, the bar pop, oh, the bar pops, it's great," you know. My opinion, bar pop is gone.
For DevM here, no, but he has seen the scout car is going over to the left-hand side. Probably be filling hands in on this information at the moment. Mortar is out on the field for DevM now, so maybe they're going to start luring the Axis into those green cover positions and start getting those model drops with the indirect fire. I think that's really good. Great incendiary grenades on the left building. Look at that.
Nice. Tommy's about to go down, perhaps. Oh, Maxim saving the day. There you go. Also, by the way, in the centre, we had the 2-2 surviving with a pixel of health thanks to the 6-pounder and that hilarious 50% accuracy buff.
What actually hit that?
Enjoys. The 6-pounder, the British AT gun,
right.
which has incredible accuracy against vehicles to make up for the fact British, of course, don't have a snare. And yeah, it's going well. Raketenwurf, by the way, is smashing it into the centre. He's now gone cloaked. Expert timing by Noggano to get the speed bus, and then the covert operations. It's hunting for the UC.
DevM's gone with guard rifle here. So I actually saw a good tactic with the KV-1 and some of the SC-76s in day. Maybe that could be an option here. Scotch leaving his choice. We don't see Lightning War here. We do see Blitzkrieg, which, you know, is same thing but different abilities.
No Tiger. Tigers are a bit rubbish these days, so I suppose it could even be better as a commander. It's nice to have the tactical movement and the command tank as part of your arsenal in 2v2. So you could argue that's a better commander for 2v2 on account of the Tiger being rubbish. I'm just saying this
it's a shame
annoy
that the Tiger. No, I agree. It's a shame though because, you know, they put so much effort into the sound design of those big vehicles in this game. That's one of the selling points of Co 2 is the sound design, and none of the units are viable.
They're a noob trap now. The IS-2, the King Tiger, and the Tiger are noob traps. Oh, I'm gonna build this. It's really big. I'll just outflank you and ignore you for a bit then. Cheers, mate. See you
Still have
later.
massive love for the Sturm Tiger, but being said.
Yeah, that's still great. I love the Sturm Tiger. But
Healing going
you
up
just-
in the base for Scotch there. Volks Grenadiers trying to hold the fuel on the left-hand side. It's a difficult one. I mean, Scotch is playing well on his side, but there's Noggano is effectively playing 2v1 on the left here and still managing it, if I'm totally honest. That's quite something to say.
I love infiltration grenades. They're so cheap and wonderful. Oh, sorry, wasn't a swipe wipe. I just wanted to say ooh ah. Damn, we must use the secret word at some point. Or should we save this for GCC? The secret word we established.
Oh no, leave that. That's
Okay, that's project secret word. We'll use that. So that's another point.
I'm saying it in my head right now.
Oh yes, me too. I can't wait to unleash it. It's gonna be. We're gonna get in the OED down. We're gonna be having coined a new word in the English lexicon. It's gonna happen. Nice MG42 positioning. Maxim can't do anything there. Let's. Who's winning at the moment? I don't think anybody is. It's a very even game right now.
It's one of these again. Like, if you have a look, HelpingHans doing very, very well on KD. DevM is 15 for 38. Some of you may be saying, well, that's a perfectly normal Soviet score. But, no, I don't think it is, if I'm honest. I think the conscript build is a little bit of a manpower for him, maybe. Just because of the amount of cover on this map and the short distances. Maxes do pretty well here. But Luke's finding the universal carry here, chasing it down. There is no mine on that side of the map. Luke should be able to get away with this. It does. And a nice takedown of a unit that Hans had been putting a lot of effort into using on that side.
I'm talking about Hans losing units. How did the sniper die? There was a sniper for Brits, wasn't there?
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
No, I think the glorious viewers have noticed in the title cards for Hans it's disappeared. I didn't actually catch what killed it, so it's a bit interesting. But Hans has indeed lost 2 units very, very quickly in quick succession there. Maybe he topped himself. Couldn't take it anymore. The war got too much for him. This happened. Very, very realistic.
Taking that Luke's out of the battle for a little while. I'd say you know, the play in terms of like synergy from DevM and Hans is not as good as it was in, say, like the second game. I feel like you notice in the second game that when DevM went for the sniper, Hans sent squads over. I mean, that hasn't really happened here, and when it has, they just haven't been working well together. The Maxim really didn't do much on that side, in my opinion. I think it's been, no, it's not really crude, but I haven't seen great team play here. Like, Scotch and Noggano just work the map. I think that's a key thing on a map like this, is if you are going to push your opponents left and right and then, you know, hit them where they move from, you're going to do very well. But Hans and DevM haven't done that.
Oh my god, I can't believe this has been built in a 2v2. Noggano has gone for the Stuka Zugus, the walking Stuka, the Werferman, the tractor with rockets jumping out of it. Right now, they're going into the sky, and they're falling from way up and high. And the Maxim died!
Died, and it's going to be recrewed by Noggano immediately. Great steal. Actually, in the series we cast last week, like myself and Fahu, the Stuka was used in every single game, and I think was the MVP of every single game. It is very, very good. Very, very good in the right hands.
Or in the right Noggano in this case. I think that was the Vickers that might have stolen there, so even better. I like the good old Vickers. Oh, 6-pounder again, finding the Lukes, but an easy reverse away for the man from Russia. Oh. Apparently one of my biggest fans, Creative Name, has told us that Noggano hid a Folks Grenadier behind the house on the left fuel and popped them out just as the sniper tried to cap the left fuel, thus destroying him. So it was a very cool ambush, basically. Interesting.
It's a shame to miss those things, if I'm honest, but I quite frankly cannot be bothered to watch the sniper for the entire game. So when it happens, I'm like, I say things like, I'm sorry, we missed the sniper. Like, but if you want to watch that unit all game, open up a tab. It's like,
yes, indeed. Well, no, honestly, the amount of snipers that have been missed dying on
it's true.
the Hero's Cast is ridiculous. Because you're either microing the sniper or you're microing something else, and they often just die. That said, you shouldn't really use them as capping units. I think that's one of the unwritten, well, probably written down somewhere, rules on top 10 tips on not what to do with snipers.
Shame might be something to highlight later on, but game is starting to heat up now. 15 minutes in, Lucas is pretty dominant on the field. We have got tier 4 just teched from Scotch back in base, so we might see the Brumbear come in again. Maybe he's going to go for Panzerwerfer because the indirect fire here is king. And DevM appears to be getting a little bit stronger ever since the PPSH is upgraded on those conscripts. He's able to push a little bit deeper into territory. He has the support of Hans' AT there. And with the Cromwell in the build,
Stuka is going centrally. The mortar's waiting, as is the MG, and they have a lot less models now. They're still alive, but just not as alive as they once were. Nice incendiary grenade here. But a lot of battles, a lot of skirmishes rather happening in the battle.
Oh, Hans just lost the Vickers on retreat. Really unfortunate, and unfortunate one model that did not make it. Scout car still doing really well, actually. I'd love to see Scout car still ripping models 16 minutes 30 seconds into the game. Hans is going to try and take it on with the AT gun. Hans has got 600 manpower, and he's built the problem.
What's this 6-pounder doing? Hans has pushed it up and gotten decrewed by the 222 of all things in combination with the flamethrower Pioneers. And it's now been stolen. That is a big misplay by the Brits. Elsewhere in the west, he was microing the Cromwell. He's trying to get past the Rakettenwerfer's line of fire. It doesn't do so and gets Fausted. Now in the open, Hans is losing left, right and centre right now. Back 40, shot at max rate, hits!
Oh no. Oh no. What? Hans is down to 4 units now. He's on 800 manpower there. Has to bring out commandos, which he's done on the fuel left side. But really, where is the spending here? He needs to get something done quickly. It's going to go into the land mattress.
He's going to go to sleep for a while. And it just probably went to sleep for a little while there. He's feeling sleepy. Stukas Fushi yet again firing on the centre. Oh, look at the clumped units. This could be devastating. No, it wasn't. It was actually Panzerwerf, by the way. Never mind. Classic Panzerwerf there. Top 10 Werfs of all time, I think. Of course, we know what's number 1 there now. But interesting to see what numbers 2 to 10 are.
I have to say, I really feel for DevM and Hans right now. It looked like they were in a really good position, and I think that Cromwell dive really changes everything. And maybe that is frustration from losing the sniper earlier. I mean, you know, some players can be volatile when losing things like that. And
nice by the land mattress. Hitting some trees, a bit of the ground, farmer, pond. Tree again.
You're just narrating the life cycle of every rocket that comes out of the land mattress.
Indeed. Oh, first grenadiers actually there. Nice. I actually did get a few kills in the end, despite my derision. Also have the T-3476 is being prepared. To talk about DevM for a moment, if there's one person you'd want as your teammate if you've lost all your units, it could be DevM. I mean, arguably, he's had the highest effective actions per minute of any player. One would guess, I guess. Always renowned for his micro, won a lot of tournaments. Oh. Big Merv goes in! What a catastrophe for the team on the loss here. Conscript's in position to recrew, but it's not going well, Dan.
No, it's not. I'm marveling. What's more impressive, you know, whether it's Scotch or Noggano here, or your restraint in calling out rocket artillery genocide.
No, I'm inventing new phrases. I'm a learning computer. I don't just not a one-hit wonder, Dan. Jesus Christ.
Oh no, 1 hit. No, maybe like 10 hits before you get bored of it.
Well, at least I get on hype montages.
That is very true. Yeah.
You get in the anthemic, like, symphony bits in the start.
Burned. All right. We'll settle this.
No, please don't change your roles. I mean, I like the roles we have. You're the host, and the sane one, and the normal one, and carry the cast and the stream. And I just shout a lot. Oh, Sternpine needs down. And I just shout a lot. It works wonderfully. It's great. Thank you for the great.
T-34 there. A little bit too far forward. Took a
What's it doing?
Ketten got a hit, it got Fausted, then there's more AT, it's another throw of a tank.
Great work by DevM. DevM, by the way, with an incredible KD here. He's got 111 kills, 44 losses. As Soviet stats and... Oh, sorry, it's the wrong way around. 44 kills, 111 losses. No, I got the joke badly wrong there. But regardless, his KD's awful. That's 0.4 right now.
Oh!
Oh, nice.
Land matches there. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. I don't think it's going to change an iota of this game's predicted path.
Mandos, then. When in doubt, Mandos. That's all crated now, so they can walk around in cloak. The Sternpanzer's going to have to watch its back. It could be a gammon bomb in the future. No, it's gone instead for the Pack 40. That's good! Oh, Bren's nearly ran into the path. Oh, nice barrage there. Sternpanzer Brumbear. What a beautiful vehicle. I often call it the Professor. In casts, I don't know why. Just like to call it the Professor. It's a wise, gentlemanly vehicle. It obliterates. Crashes in lesson right now. What's worse? Did you see the conscripts all clumped up? Is that what you saw?
No, yeah, the conscripts did it. I honestly thought the Brumbear was going to wipe it.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't.
Yeah.
That's it, it's lacking AoE. It needs to be buffed.
Oh, that's rubbish. I only got 2 kills on that one. I want it to a squad wipe every time. I want that as marketing point for the Brumbear. I want it to cost 1,000 manpower, but it deletes units. You just click on them and they disappear. That's how you use balancing. That's what I want.
Well, great positioning here from Scotch. So he's got a nice MG on that side. Very difficult for the conscripts to move there. Brumbear, Command Panzer IV. It's a heavy anti-infantry build. Why is the Katusha on the field?
Oh no, this is a brilliant move by DevM. They'll never see this coming. They've gone for an amazing Panzer army. DevM, however, instead of building something that counters tanks, he's built their Katusha. That counters nothing that the Axis have. They will never have seen this coming. Incredible play by DevM.
I don't get this.
You watch, you wait. This Katusha's going to be awesome.
I have a feeling we will be waiting.
Well, we've got land match on the Katusha. So HelpingHans already had a piece of... Well, it's got 2 rockets, and look at the amount of rocket artillery they have.
I keep
this is
flicking
rocket
back to
artillery
it.
suicide! Oh, this
It's moving! It moved! It moved! It reversed! It's decided to go back to where it was.
Oh, Katusha's going back. It's trying to reclaim itself. It's going back to the factory as a bad decision.
I am so confused. Why was that built? Why is that there?
I could just imagine HelpingHans shouting to DevM over over Teams comms right now. Use your bloody Katusha!
I thought that was baffling. What was that going to do
rubbish.
in that game? You know what I mean? It just what was it?
Oh god!
I feel like I feel like they just found some useful guy in the fields with a tractor, and they're like, "Get the rockets on there, you drive in," and the guy's just like, they're like shaking on the gear stick.
But I am used to field. I am not used to be rocket.
Yeah. Maybe he's just sitting there like, "How do I use this thing?" Like cranking all the gears. But look at the stats for that game. Once again, I would say DevM has been the weaker link in the team because 2 games has had a terrible KD and no real success.
Yeah, there's no two ways about it. I mean, when they've played against teams in auto match, DevM has shown moments of inspired play, like some great tank pushes. But in general, it's such a weak starting point to win a huge 2v2 tournament that it is a difficult one. And it does seem like he is being possibly a little bit deer in the headlights in some of these games. I mean, they're up against the best 2v2 team of all time, so yeah, that doesn't help. But who goes 4 cons in 2v2? His build orders are a bit off in that game. His choices were off, and it ultimately cost them.
Yeah, I do think just some misplays. I feel like they're spreading themselves too thin. You know, when you're a 1v1 player, you have an ego that the 2v2 players maybe don't have necessarily. Like, so you're like, hey, I can take a 1v1 on this side. My teammate is a 1v1 player. He can handle his side. He's like the best in the game. Cool. But actually, the 2v2 teams that do work together and, you know what I mean, that group up on that one player, push them aside, or utilize the map to make great flanks, are always the ones that are victorious at this stage. And I don't feel like they have had that synergy. I think that's what's doing it.
One of the parts of the recipe that makes a successful 2v2 team, dating back to when I used to follow the 2v2 team in Company Heroes 1 as well, because obviously, you know, great 2v2 teams that are truly great are few and far between. They've often been quite reserved characters. There's never like 2 guys that have big egos. So in Company Heroes 1v1, it's like Jeep and Symbiosis, 2 very chill guys, for example. And then there's been others. It's a long way back, but in 2v2 we've been rocked and we've been dominated by Scotch and Noggano, 2 very chill guys. It's almost as though like, yeah, I'm gonna have this role, you have that role. We'll synergize, we'll work together, we'll play as a team. Or you've got HelpingHans and DevM, and DevM's like, you know, I'm the best player of all time, and HelpingHans, I'm the best player of all time. It's like, if we combine, we'll both be the best players of all time.
But they have actually, I think, made their roles on the teams in the same. So you've got like DevM is like seems to be aggressive infantry, Hatton's a bit more support based and indirect, and then you've got Noggano who seems to be really, really aggressive, and then, you know, it's like Scotch who's always playing things like the Panzerwerfer or the Brumbear or the Mortar and things like that. So they have the same dynamic, but it's working much better for Noggano and Scotch. They only have to win 1 more game to close this series out. Which I'm kind of keen to see this as a best of 5, if I'm honest. Best of 5s are quite grueling for casters, but I'm very keen to see this go into a 5th game.
Well, are you a fan of the Third Reich?
What?
Are you a fan of the Third Reich? Because if the way you see a best of 5 right now is the Axis have to win every single game. I mean, obviously, it was a very difficult question to ask somebody.
Right. I'm like,
I'm not recruiting, Dan.
I'm like, did Jesus I say Christ. Something that suggested? I'm trying to recalculate everything I've said. Like, have I given him the impression?
No, but in order for it to be a best of 5, just to clarify my joke here, it has to be Axis winning every single game, and that's what we might want to see. I mean, it's not great for the balance, perceived balance, because everybody in chat will be like going into forums, oh, Axis OP, because I saw a match that had Axis winning everything. And my sample size is 1. But, you know, that's often what happens. So I often fear that when you get a best of 5 that's got the same faction winning every time,